Hello, loyal viewers. This is the VGamer X. I am back with some more SoulCalibur 6 Libra of Soul. Last time we left off, we did some jobs and we finally finished off as well for good. And now, only one little piece remains. But before we do that, we got a lot more help. Just help with these hidden roads over here. Yeah, if you guys haven't guessed, because this is so late in the story, the story for these guys like pops up a lot more frequently. So, opening roads, friendship. That's some more dirty ruffians. Very well then, maybe they like to taste the power of pork. Though she knew I was there to watch her back, Lisa wore a tense expression as we hurried along the familiar forest path. Omid appeared as soon as we arrived at the altar. Forgive me, Sir Omid. They followed us again, but I know how to keep them from... Omid gestured for her to be quiet, and as we heard the sound of many feet snapping twigs from behind us. I am aware. You made more noise than usual to attract attention, and the sack carrying the tribute looks heavier than usual on purpose, right? They've been after all this time. I told everyone it was nothing valuable, but they didn't believe me. And we'll have to make sure they fully understand, once and for all. The sounds grew louder, and a group of men came out of the forest. There they are. Oh, and someone from the hidden villages with them. Give us the sack. I will not be gentle with you this time. Again, you will be disappointed if you take it. This time we're fighting outside the forest, huh?
Come on now.
Good enough for me. And away you go. Yeah, I'm playing. Ah, you want to be Reaper? Oh, okay, that looked awesome. Alright, big guy. You're next. Oh wow, that somehow hit him. Oh, you silly little... Trying to finish off with something cool and you've ruined it. I'm leaving. I have to return this lovely sugar stack to these guys. As we were dragging the unconscious bandits away from the altar, Omid looked up with a start. I hear something. Over there! There were others. They're heading towards the hidden village. Hurry! We followed Omid and quickly ran into a group of rough-looking men swaggering through the forest. I lost all of them around here. Ah, we found you! This is perfect. We can grab them and make them tell us where the hidden village is. Curses! There are a lot of them. Telomatus, take Lisa and run! We can't leave you! We ain't letting anyone go. Just then, a volley of arrows suddenly rained down at the bandits' feet. Huh? What's going on? Leave. Do not harm our guests. The voice rang out from the trees. You! But why? Another even greater volley of arrows was the only response. Crap! We're sitting ducks! Let's get out of here! Remember this. Those who raise their hands against our friends, cursed. After the cries of ruffians faded into the foliage, Lisa sank like a marionette whose strings had just been cut. You helped us! Considering ourselves to the outside world brings danger, we understood this when we accepted your offer. The elders still refuse to deal with outsiders. However, they tolerate our exchanges with humans. This is all due to your efforts, Ro.
Thank you so much.
The rescues from the least hidden village left without ever showing themselves. However, it seemed that Lizlet's efforts and altruism had made an impact on the people of the hidden village. The forest path would likely see more feet in the future. Hooray! We made a difference. And that's enough of the town helping stuff. So yeah, you guys don't have to worry about me doing those again this playthrough. Alright, so now we have to deal with the Black Demon. After Aswell's defeat, I managed to get mixed up in all sorts of wild adventures, like defending a village of elves. A long time passed in what seemed to be a blink of an eye. On all of my travels, there was one thing I could never get out of my mind. Ro. What happened to him? Was he even still alive? I realized it was time for me to embark on another journey. I thought back to what happened that day. Ro had fallen into the ravine with Aswell, but Aswell had survived, so it was possible that Ro had too. But even if he was still alive, it is likely the manifestation had grown far worse. Ro knew exactly how far he had pushed the limits of manifested power within him. However, when the time came, though, he purposely went beyond them. His words echoed in my mind. I know that my mind will not survive this. If I harness my complete power. The thought depressed me. If that was what had become of him, it was up to me to keep my promise. I spoke to robbers, bounty hunters, and others who made their living in the shadows, all in the hopes of finding clues to Ro's whereabouts. Yeah, that'd be the Black Demon, you know. It's kind of like that Azure Knight fellow way back. I'd keep well away. Not worth the bounty money if you ask me. Elusive, cruel, devilishly fast, wilier than a fox. Nothing has survived long enough to even get a good look at it. We got an unspoken rule of the shadows. Some things you just don't do, no matter how much money is on the table. Unless you got a death wish anyway. Huh? Where is he? How if I know? If I did, I'd be making a quick buck selling the info to some rich goody two-shoes who wants to play hero. Are you even listening to me? The Black Demon. This was the first lead with potential I had come across. Perhaps this would put me on the path to finding Ro. I thought about my next move. There was a limit to what I could accomplish alone. I need help. And the only option I saw was the Evolve organization. I couldn't be sure what the lead was solid, however. This Black Demon definitely sounded like an outsider, so I felt like I could be onto something. Natalie and Dion had told me if they had any information, they would send a messenger. But what was the point of waiting? If my travels have taught me anything, it was that I needed to take the initiative to get anything done. So I decided to contact Evolve through a secret channel they had provided for me. Simple. How nice of me. Alright. Back to there I go. Holding council. Traveling by yourself is a lonely thing. I missed having good company. The road was long, but eventually I arrived at a town and I've seen better days. On the plus side, I don't have to worry about starving. Since, well, I'm all bones. Following the instructions I'd been given, I made my way to a lake on the outskirts of town and stood there holding an incense burner. Soon an agent from the organization appeared and guided me to one of the organization's hideouts. Telomatus, we were expecting you. It has been a while. Dion and Natalie were waiting for me. Apparently Evolve had been keeping close tabs on my movements, and they had known I was coming. I told them what I was doing about this Black Demon. Dion fell silent for some time. Naturally, we've been searching for Ro, but to no avail. Additionally, it has been difficult to continue our search. Even our organization has crashes at times. Ro has been judged to be an outsider, but we are divided on whether he must be dealt with. Evolve does not compromise regarding outsiders. However, Ro served us well for many years, and his contributions in the fight against Aswell made him a hero. Many of us believe it is soon to pass judgment on him, and so our investigations have stalled while we bicker on what to do. And besides, we do not even know whether he's still alive. I asked them why they thought about the rumor I had heard. Well, we had heard those rumors as well. However, we do not know if it is indeed an outsider, and we have yet to organize an investigation. And we have no reason to believe this black demon is Grow either. However, if you're willing to help us with a little task, then we can mobilize some of our agents who gather information on it in return. I had no problem helping them, but I needed to know what that entailed. It's the astral fissures. Not all have been dealt with. We are working on a way to take care of them ourselves, but you are the most efficient way of doing it that we know of. As you know, our numbers are few. We know you no longer require the power of the fissures, but if you aid us, we'll aid you in return. After some thought, I agreed to help. And it's settled. I shall tell you the location of an astral fissure. You can handle it by yourself, I presume? I gave a small nod, and Dion told me the information I needed. Alright. So you got some more big old experience boost to get, alright? Alright. Don't worry, the conduit is here. And it's a handsome looking berserker too. I shall demonstrate the power of pork to him as well. No pun intended. Let's go. The astral fissure was where Dion had said it would be. Unlike Yangguang, the area was relatively unaffected, which was somewhat of a relief. I approached the astral fissure carefully, and a berserker appeared. I risk my honor for victory! Yeah, I don't know why I made him sound like that.
Battle 1. Fight!
Alright. So gauge goes over time, huh? Well, then we'll have me to fix that. Just like it, and those vending machines for me. Come on, go off. There you go. Oh, no ring outs, eh?
Come on now.
Oh, crap. This is gonna hurt you. Ow. Boom. Ow. And perfect timing. Now give me your corrupted soul.
Poor baby.
Yeah. The fallen must face death. With the berserker defeated, I walked over to the astral fissure. As I stretched my hand toward the astral fissure, I felt two forces tugging at me from the other side. In my mind, I heard a voice from my dreams, and two swords appeared. Which symbol of power would I choose? Golden sword or azure sword? I gotta stick with the dark path, so golden sword. Soon the astral fissure vanished. I felt an enormous surge of power flow into me, a power even stronger than what I had felt before. Perhaps it was because of my connection with the sword slumbering within the astral fissure had grown in strength? Whatever the case, it seemed I still possessed the ability to absorb the fissures. I mean, I hoped you would, otherwise they would have brought you in there for nothing. It was time to report back to Dion. Actually, that would be one heck of... How much of a crapshoot is that? There might have been a chance that you couldn't have done it, so you just got sent into the fire, sent into the battlefield for nothing? Alright, her request. You've done well. Of all thanks to you, and so do I. Once again, I found myself at the Evolve organization's base, meeting with Dion and Natalie. Unfortunately, the investigations of Sergro's whereabouts are proceeding slowly. However, I have read several reports about what may be the Black Demon. Of all agents in a number of different locations have heard rumors of it while gathering information on the outsiders. Our agent's report contained information on where it was sighted, who it attacked, and when, and so on. Alas, we can draw no clear conclusions yet. Worse, These reports raise more questions than answers. With so many sightings spread out over such a large area, it is difficult to imagine that they all correspond to the same entity. In other words, there's a good chance that these leads are red herrings that won't lead me to Grow or the Black Demon. Do you still plan to pursue this demon? I nodded. After a short pause, Natalie spoke. I am not one to rely on people without being able to offer something in return. However, I would like to ask a favor for you. Find him for us. Find Grow. I asked her what her plan was once Grow, where the Black Demon, was found. I shall be direct. I want to be the one that kills him. Our purpose and our creed are absolute. Outsiders cannot be allowed to roam free, even if they were once one of us. Furthermore, Natalie hesitated. I think I understand him more now. Having to conceal his power while working so hard for the sake of the organization. It must have torn him apart. So please, free him from this pain. Her eyes showed she was dead serious. Stop again soon. In the meantime, we'll do our best to gather more accurate information. Natalie and Dion bid me farewell, and I left the Apple ball base behind. Exploration. The information from the Evolved organization has been enlightening, but I surely would have been more in the dark than I had acted alone. And with that, I began my search for the Black Demon. Get my detective goggles on. Time to let Telomatus Holmes do the work. And again, we gotta do some more travel. So, logically, we shall go to the location closest to that. What lurks in the harbor? Right on the mouth of the water. Ooh, a mysterious opponent, eh? My first thought was, how could it be possible for a Malfest to lurk in this town unnoticed? According to the Evolved agent's report, a particularly cunning Malfestant who had wheedled his way into society by disguising himself as a merchant. While the Black Demon was skilled at covering his tracks, something about this didn't feel quite the same. This Malfestant looked and acted like any other human. For a specimen with such guile, interrogation would be pointless. What could I do? I tailed it until night. When it entered a dark, empty alleyway, I approached it. Who's there? I approached silently as Malfestant bolted. Hastily, I followed. I arrived, or perhaps I should say led to, the port, and Malfestant stood before me, sword in hand. How did you know? That Malfestant was clearly a panic. Without a word, I readied my weapon. Guess no one noticed the blood-red eyes?
Battle 1. Fight!
He put his hand on my sword and I said,
Come on now. How's this?
Bam. No, seriously, how do you think the eyes and like the super pale skin are giving it away? Unless this Malfestant is like a alien or something to just like easily hide them. But in that case, clever. But your disguise ends here. Oh crap. Bam. Apparently he's a human rocket too. And step on the ground. I ended his life by giving him a little ride. That Malfestant was a powerful adversary, true, but it was unlikely that it was the black demon I had sought. It was time to follow up on my next lead. As I get my lovely pipe out,
Soul
the search
surges in your
continues.
body.